Alright, what's going on, y'all? Today we are going to be going over tons of tips and little tricks you can do to get just whether it's competitive advantages, or if you're just new to the mode, or even if you're just picking up NBA2k25 very recently, or just in general, you're maybe having some trouble, you want to learn some little tricks and tips that you didn't know about, it may help you out a lot. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, we're going to go into things just in the menus first. So if y'all are doing these exchanges for this event, like exchanging all your cards down into either AMI pieces, up into diamond pieces, or if you're doing the badge method, which isn't good in this event, so I would not recommend going for badges or shoes in this event like last season or last events. I would go for players. But one little setting that can help y'all out a lot is this setting right here: short, press, and hold. Where is it? Right here. Turn this on. So what this does is, if you're going to exchange, when you're exchanging a card, you normally have to hold X or hold A or whatever to have the piece go into the card. If you just have this on, tap A or tap X, whatever button it is, it'll instantly put it into the thing. It makes your exchanging life just so much quicker and easier. So this setting, turn it on, it'll make exchanging so much quicker and easier. The only thing about that though is you do have to watch out. Make sure you don't accidentally exchange things into the wrong things, because when you're normally holding A or X, you can, quickly stop holding it if you're exchanging into the wrong thing. If you have that on, if you make a mistake and accidentally exchange into something you don't want to, you're not going to be able to unhold the button. It's just going to instantly go into it. So make sure y'all don't, mess up on that. Next thing, even if y'all don't play Park, take advantage of your daily spins. Always do your daily spins. On my No Money Spin account, I'm not doing that because I'm not having VC at all on that account, but literally just every day when you log on, even if you don't play Park, make a player, go walk over here to where whatever affiliation you join, go to the daily spin, and just do it. You can get VC. I've seen people get a million VC out of this. I've seen people get 250k VC out of this. I've seen plenty of people get 50k, 20k. Even if you only get 500 up to 2500 VC. See, I didn't even get VC this time, but I do this every day. I promise you the VC adds up, and eventually you're going to have enough for packs. And to say you get really lucky and get a million VC out of the daily spin, you never know, bro. That could get you so much packs that could entirely change your account. Now, I also would do this pick'em thing. The only problem with the pick'em thing is it's kind of going away soon because the NBA season is getting closer and closer to being an end. But if you ever do this any year in 2K, even during the regular season, always do your pick'em. That gives you VC 100 VC every time you get it correct. It adds up a lot and it helps a lot. Now we're gonna go towards the new features in this game. So 2K added rhythm shooting, and it is the most broken thing in this game, and you need to do it. If you want to get any competitive advantage in this game, you need to learn rhythm shooting. And y'all probably think it is a little bit hard, but I promise you, it's honestly not that hard once you learn it. Definitely though, when you're playing, put your shot timing on high risk. Do not play on normal, do not play on low. When you're playing offline, we're going to talk about real player percentage later, but do not play on low or normal risk. Play on high risk. You can hit whites on low and normal risk, but I promise y'all, you do not green as much as you do on high risk. You could literally green a jump shot, but if you're on normal or low risk, it won't green it. Now high risk, you can't hit whites. You'll maybe hit a white every 1,000 shots, because sometimes they will randomly go in. But play on high risk, learn how to shoot at high risk, just learn all your jump shots because you need to. Now, layup profile timing, this honestly doesn't matter. It's really all preference. If you're going to play, I would recommend either play on real player where you don't time it at all. Do not play on low risk though. I would either play on real player or normal or high. Low risk I wouldn't do for layup timing. I play on normal risk because sometimes I won't green the layup and I don't want to completely miss a layup if it's wide open and I don't green it. High risk, you can green tons of contested layups. If you learn the layup timing on high risk, you can be the most cheesiest player of all time, but I just haven't really cared to try to learn it to the point where I miss wide open layups. I just don't like the chances of missing a wide open layup because I don't green a layup. And everyone makes mistakes. Real player I did play on for a while. There's honestly no problem playing a real player. There is just some layups that you may miss that you wouldn't think you would miss. But I play on normal risk because, yeah. When it comes to the shot timing visual cue, if you played, I think last year's the only year it had this. This is where your green window will be at. Jump is when it's at their feet. Release is when it's at their wrists. Push is when they're pushing the ball. And then set point is when it hits their forehead when you're shooting. I always have played on set point. Every year I always play on set point. So I think 2K23 actually added this, but I always play on set point. When it hits their forehead, it's always green. I just know set point. I've learned it. I think push is actually the best thing to do in this game, but I just like set point, so that's what I play on. So definitely mess around with this, whatever you think is best. I do think set point is best, but I know a lot of people vouch for push. So yeah, I would definitely learn what shot time profile you want to use, and then learn rhythm shooting. Now we're gonna go into freestyle real quick. If y'all, okay, 1 second, I need to make my team full. If y'all don't know how to rhythm shoot, I'm gonna show you right now. So it's all with the right stick. Now I've been doing it since the game came out, because I was really on rhythm shooting before it came out, or right when the game came out, before everyone else was kind of doing it. I can't really shoot X anymore. Like I can try to shoot X, and I probably greened it, but I'm also gonna go in Hall of Fame real quick, just so it is actually on like a hard difficulty. But like X shooting is so weird to me. Like I used to obviously always shoot an X because you had to shoot X. Bro, I am so much worse shooting with X than I am with the stick. Even if I'm just not even rhythm shooting and I'm just shooting with the stick regularly, like that's not rhythm shot. I'm just green with the stick now because I'm so used to shooting with the stick. But if you guys want to know how to rhythm shoot, this is my Xbox controller. This is the right stick. You start flicking down and then you flick up. And you flick up when you're at the point where you want to shoot. So I'm on set point, so we're going to go to the corner. I flick up as soon as it hits his forehead. As soon as it hits Devin Booker's forehead, that's when I flick up, because that's where the green release is. So basically, wherever you would normally stop holding X, that's when you flick up with the controller. Now, you do have to have a tempo thing. He just did a go-to shot. It is a tempo thing. So you don't just flick up as quick as possible, right? You just flick up at an easy flick up, like a nice smooth flick up. And then you just gotta learn that with everyone. You just gotta learn where their green window is at, and then you just gotta basically do the same flick up every time. Just a little nice smooth right stick flip up. It's honestly it seems a lot more complicated than it is. It was very intimidating, I would say, day one for me, and I was like contemplating if it even actually was the best thing. But I just figured whenever 2K adds a new shooting like mechanic, it normally is way more overpowered than it's supposed to be. I mean, if y'all were playing back in 2K21 when they had the the stick shooting back then, where you had to like keep the right stick like as still as possible, I didn't learn that at the time, but I know DBG, like, he was on that right away. He was like the best player in the world first week because of how OP that thing was. So learn rhythm shooting. It's start on the right stick going down, flick up after. And when you're doing fades, you can rhythm shoot fades, but it's the opposite. So if you're fading, you want to run, obviously, you want to run with momentum. And then when you want to start shooting the fade, you have your stick flicked up, and then you flick down when you want to release. So fades are the opposite of a regular standstill shot. So it's up, down on fades, but down, up on a regular shot. Once you learn regular shots, then you can move around with fades, but I definitely would advise just shooting around in freestyle for a bit before you actually start doing it in-game. Once you learn it in-game, you'll be way more of a better player than you really thought. Now, next thing I'm going to go over is defensive settings. Now, I'm going to go over this right now. When you're playing Park, you can do defensive settings in Park. So I don't even think I do have defensive settings put on Park. If you don't like your players helping, I have my defensive settings in Park. So if you go to any of your lineups and you go to the 3-player lineups and you also go to your regular lineup, you can have defensive settings on clutch time, you can have them on triple threat Park, and you can have them obviously regularly online. Now, the defensive settings I run smother on ball. I think you just need to run it at this point because with the contest system in this game, you literally have to be on top of the ball, which we're going to talk about that more later, because we're also going to go over lineup difficulties of like reasons you're struggling could be just the lineup you're running, and we're going to go over that later, pretty much relatively after the defensive settings. On ball pressure, I have smother. I just think it's the best right now with how the game is, with how fast jump shots are at this point. And just, I don't like giving up 3s. I'd rather give up 2s. And with smother on ball pressure, that's your best bet of not giving up a 3. Off ball pressure, I do have on tight because people do run back cuts. And when I run deny ball, a lot of people do run deny ball, but when I run deny ball, I get back cut a lot more. So I like tight because I don't get back cut as often when I run tight, and I still am close enough to them so they can't just throw the ball to someone and catch and shoot it. On ball screens, I have go over. This I would change depending the player. So say you're going against like a Giannis, like a non-shooter. So say you're going against Giannis. I would have go under on Giannis because I'm okay with Giannis going around a screen and shooting a 3 rather than him going to the rim. So I'd rather my players go under the screen when I'm guarding Giannis, But if I'm guarding a Steph Curry or anyone that has a really good jump shot that I'm afraid for them to shoot threes, I'm having go over, so my player will go over the screen and try to contest them from shooting a three. And obviously, it'll be easier for them to drive to the rim. But again, I'd rather give up a 2 than a 3. But with Giannis, obviously, I'd rather give Giannis a 3 over an open dunk. So it really depends on the player. If it's a non-shooter, put go under, go under. If it's a shooter or somebody you don't want shooting the 3 at all, put go over, go over. Hedge, I do have catch hedge. It's just easier to pinch the guys off screens, or just in general is a lot easier to pinch players. And catch hedge has been the best thing to run in my team for the longest that I can remember. Now we're going to go to... Basically, we're going to leave everything after that. Auto, stay attached, put that on always. Always have stay attached. Do not put only on screens. Do not have never. Don't have auto. Make sure that's on always. Everything else automatic. Then we get to screen help, drive help, cutter help. We're going to have all of that on no help. We want to make sure our players do not either rotate from the corner and leave players open. We just do not want our players running off of open shooters and leaving people open. We do not want that. So I have this on no help everywhere, so players will not just run to the paint or run to random players when they shouldn't. Extend pressure. This is up to y'all. I run it on automatic. You can run no, you can run yes. I would run it on automatic. I think it's the best. But basically, this will just make it so your players will press. That's all it really is. Just they'll press up more. I like automatic, so I like sometimes pressing. I like sometimes not. And then another tip is with your bench. I've been needing to do this, so it's a good thing I'm actually doing this video. Make sure you have on-the-fly lineups. This makes it so instead of subbing your bench in individually, you can just have quick. I have on-the-fly lineups. I always put it on quick. Whenever I want to sub my bench in, instead of doing it player by player or just clicking down and then bench and then having to sort everything out, I have my on-the-fly lineup, so I can just go press down the D-pad, press quick, and I know my bench will entirely be subbed in and I don't have to worry about it. Make sure you do on-the-fly lineups. The problem with that, though, every single time you do new players into your team, you got to change your on-the-fly lineups. Now, lineup difficulties. We're going to go over this right now. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go full lineup. We're just going to name it Lin for lineup difficulties. 2K, I'm going to let them autofill my lineup with the best available. Right now, I can tell y'all this team is awful. And I'll tell y'all why. First off, height matters a lot in this game. Now, I'm not saying get 6-7 point guards. You can run John Walls. You can run Jeremy Lin. He's my backup point guard. But make sure you have height at each position. So, for example, this autofill lineup 2K. John Wall is a major problem with this lineup. He is too short to play as shooting guard. Again, with this game, you have to be on top of defenders when they shoot. Literally, Mike Wang tweeted it in the beginning of the game. The way the contest system works, it's not if you're close to the player. It's you have to be on top of the ball to get a contest. So if you're 6'3", and your matchup 6'4", and their jump shot, they shoot up, John Wall will barely get a contest unless you jump. And obviously, you don't want to jump all the time because it could foul. But you do have to jump a lot in this game to contest shooters. But you want to have height. So if we look at my actual team, I run a 6'9" shooting guard, Robert Covington. Now, he is a pink diamond. If we look at my team, B-Roy's a lot better than Robert Covington, you probably would think. Ricky Davis, Jason Richardson. We can look at Bernard King. Like these, I mean, 6'7" isn't even that short for a shooting guard. That's fine height. But I like to have Robert Covington in here because he's a tall shooting guard and he's just straight there for defense. And I think that, I wholeheartedly believe he can also switch on to anybody, but he is not going to get shot over. And that's all I'm fine with. Karolinko, 6'9". Normally that's around the small, so I'll go for my small forward, maybe 6'8". But like I normally would run a straight up tall lineup. Now your center, Moses Malone I think is better than Embiid, right? But I'm not running Embiid. I'm not running Moses over Embiid at the 5 because he also, I think Moses Malone is too short to play the 5 in my opinion. 6'10" is too short because if you're going against a Wemby, you're not going to get contests on Wemby if you're running Moses Malone. You will get shot over the entire time. Now, people are going to shoot over you the entire time anyways with Wembys or with Yao Mings, but you'll have a better chance of contesting them with a player like or with Wemby or like Embiid, who is 7 foot, rather than someone that is 6'10". So I make sure I have that. Now, I do have Dyson Daniels, a 6'7" point guard in my reserves, so if Jeremy Lin is a problem on defense and I can't switch him on to anyone else, I do always sub in Dyson. Now, this is what is the problem. If somebody is using a Brandon Roy, I can run Jeremy Lin on the court and be fine because 6'3 versus 6'6 isn't a huge height difference, and I don't mind switching Jeremy Lin onto Brandon Roy. So that's why I really advise make sure you do not have short players on your team. For example, yesterday on stream, people were talking about this. They were talking about a duo. If I can find it, it was the this duo. People were saying they were running this duo, and I was basically puking, bro. Because you cannot run this Reed Shepherd Rob Dillingham duo, because the way dynamic duos work in this game, they have to both be on the court at the same time. Rob Dillingham is 6'3", and I believe Reed Shepherd is 6'2" in this game, or 6'3". Either way, that is two short guards. You cannot run them together. You can't run them together. They're too short. That duo does not play because they're just two short players, and you will get shot over the entire time. So like I said, make sure you run tall guards. I would say the shortest you can go for your shooting guard in this game is like 6'6". I like to have 6'7" shortest probably around my shooting guards. I mean, B-Roy can run, and like I think Jason Richardson's also 6'6". He can run. So 6'6" I would say is the smallest you should go for a shooting guard on your team. Point guard, I wouldn't go any shorter than probably like 6'3". Now, Dark Matter Chris Paul, a card that I would love to use, is probably really fun. And I'm not saying don't run cards you like. So still, just make sure you have basically a competitive team where it's not dumb, basically, so you don't have super short guys at every position, but also make your team so you enjoy it. Because fun is the most important thing in this game. And I know I spent a long time, probably the longest amount of time on this video talking about lineups, but it matters more than anything because you could have all the skill in the game. You could have all the defensive settings in the game. You could have rhythm shooting, everything perfectly down to a T. But if you're not running the right lineup, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. So make sure you just have a competitive lineup. Basically, I like to have 2 scorers and all defense around me. I have a scorer here, and then my next scorer normally is Tim Duncan. But honestly, I've only been running really one scorer because even if you look at my bench, Dr. J obviously is a scorer, but I was running Kawhi over Dr. J for a while, so I was only scoring through Jeremy Lin. And obviously, I sometimes score through Wemby, I sometimes score through Tim Duncan. But like, just make sure you have someone you're really confident with scoring with, and then just have all defense around them, and then having a good secondary score. But definitely just get that down. But again, also have fun with the mode. Like Dark Matter Chris Paul, I actually really wanted to get that card just to have fun with him, to try him out for a bit. He is 6 foot, so it is a little iffy. But if you're gonna have someone like that and have fun with them, just make sure you always have even a 20 KMT Dyson Daniels in your reserves. So if you need a tall point guard to sub in to make up for the height difficulties, if you're going against a Magic and all 6'9" players plus, you'll be able to have a matchup where you can, still have a competitive team against that team, and also have Chris Paul on your actual team, so when he can play, you can still have fun with him and still be effective with him. Now, next thing I have to tell y'all is learn your icons. So I'm gonna go into let's go into training. So actually no, let's go into a play now game real quick to talk about icons. So obviously this is a my team tips and tricks video, but we gotta talk about icons. This matters a ton as well. You gotta know your icons. So we're gonna talk about that. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but you need to know icons where your players are at, because you need to be able to, as soon as someone's open, you need to be able to pass to them instantly with the icon and not get either pass to the wrong icon or have to overthink yourself for even a second just to know where what player is. So like with my team, I know Derek White is the shooting guard on the Celtics, right? So I quickly switch to him whether it's on defense or not. Or say like Jaylen Brown's open right now. I know he's a small forward, so I quickly press RBX, RBY. Like I know where my players are at. Learn your icons so you don't have to like press the button and then like think, oh okay, Drew Holiday's my point guard, and then press the button, because they might not be open for as long as they were. So just make sure that you know all your icons, and you can just quickly either switch to them on defense where you have to switch somewhere and get a contest, or just pass them when they're wide open. I know it's something dumb and it's really, really, really obvious, but just make sure you know your icons so you don't have to overthink passes, or say your center's wide open and say you're running like a Kristaps Porzingis at power forward and you overthink that he's your center on your actual team, you press LT and it goes to a lane steal. Because every little mistake matters in this game, and you gotta make sure you don't make as much mistakes as you possibly can. And if you know your icons to a T, then you should never really throw bad passes, at least on accident. Now, next thing I want to do is, like I said, don't waste your MT. So let's say a bad card in this game is like, okay, Jalen Green. Not a great card. Not a great dark matter at all. This card is probably going to end around 150k MT. Not a good buy at all. And we'll explain why. Say you want a scoring point guard. Get a Jeremy Lin who's cheaper. Or you can go for even like Malcolm Brogdon isn't the greatest scoring point guard, but he's not bad. And he's so much cheaper than a guy like Jalen Green, but they still are there's no point guard Galaxy Opals, what the hell are we doing? But they still are like competitive. Like Galaxy Opal point guards we'll look at. DeJounte Murray, a good buy. He can score a little bit, but he's mainly a defender. John Wall is Opal. I don't see a point buying him because, you know, he is the Pro Pass reward, but not a bad buy. But like Alex Caruso by far is probably the best value point guard still in this game. And people are going to waste their MT buying players like Tyrese Halliburton or Jalen Green. I understand. Now, these, if they are your favorite players, buy them with all means considered. Have fun with the game mode. So if you want to run Jalen Green because he's one of your favorite players, buy him, have fun with the game mode. But if you're trying to make, you know, buy players because you think they're best for your team, make sure you manage your MT right and you don't waste it on players that you shouldn't be buying when there are better versions or a little bit less versions of them for way cheaper. So that I will say. For example, early on in the year, Galaxy Opal Zach LaVine is basically the exact same card as the Pink Diamond. Now, this Galaxy Opal was going for around 500k when he came out. And the Pink Diamond, he went down to buyout. And people were still buying the Opal over the Pink Diamond when stat-wise, they literally are the exact same. And since people were running that Zach LaVine card for so long, he was badged out. And the only difference between the Pink Diamond and the Opal were the badges. Literally, the stats, they are the exact same. But people would waste their MT because they think the Opal's better just because of the glow. When realistically, a badged out Pink Diamond Zach LaVine is better than a regular base Opal Zach LaVine. And it's the same issue with the Pink Diamond and the Opal Paul Georges. Literally, basically the exact same cards, just badges differences. So just make sure you're, managing your MT good. So don't waste it on things you shouldn't be, because it is kind of hard to earn MT in this game mode. But also have fun with the game mode. Now, last two things we're going to go over is bid sniping is something that isn't bad to do. So we're going to let's look at like Michael Beasley, a card that's really, really good in this game. Super Packs did just come out, so cards are a lot cheaper right now. And honestly, I'm going to try sniping for a bit on stream when I first fire up. But right now, he's going for, the cheapest is 59k, right? 58k, 59k. I'm going to go to any Michael Beasley card, and 58k is the cheapest. I'll go to maximum bid. We just go to any bid on any of them. I'm going to try to win this one, say, for 50k. Now, yes, that is a bid snipe. Barely. It's only like 8k difference, but it is a way to earn it. It is a way to, maximize your MT by keeping some of it, to change for. You keep some in the change, keep some in your pocket, rather than spending the full 58k. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to wait 3 hours for Michael Beasley. I'm not expecting y'all to wait. But, like, just in general, like a card that's in high demand right now that there's a ton of is Robert Covington. I guarantee you could snipe a bunch of Robert Covingtons on bid. So I think right now he is only going for like 2,500 MT. So it isn't really the greatest. Oh no, he's actually like expensive now. Actually, wait. He's going for like 7k. So I'll go to Robert Covington. And I would be willing to spend 5k MT on bid. Like on this one, I would spend 5k. Or I'll spend even up to, we'll say like 5,500. And you could also do this on a bunch of cards to earn MT. That's what I was doing on my No Money Spent. I would go on to, say, the cheapest like Pink Diamond in the game. I think right now is 3k MT. So I would bid on every Pink Diamond that's bad at end. I would bid like 1,500 MT on all of them. And you're not going to win most of them, but you will win a good amount of them. And if you, win them for 1,500 MT, I could sell all my Pink Diamonds back for 3,000 MT right now. And with tax, that's like 1,200 MT profit. Say you get 10 of those, you're making a bunch of MT. So definitely try to bid snipe, or just try to snipe in general. Bid sniping's a lot easier and a lot more of a chance of getting a bid snipe rather than luckily getting a like auction house snipe. And the last thing I gotta talk about, y'all, is confidence. I know this has been a very, very, very long video. And if y'all are enjoying it in general, I'd love if y'all just could consider subscribing. We're on the road to 1,000, and leave a like. But confidence is the most important thing when it comes to this game. And again, I know it sounds kind of dumb, but it really is the most important thing in this game. Because if you're confident in yourself shooting a shot, you're going to make it more likely than not. So just earn your confidence. Kind of be delusional. Be delusional and think you're the best player in the world, and you'll play a lot better than you think you will. Just be confident. Yep, you heard what she said? The Lulu is the Salulu. She's weird. Being delusional, but being confident in yourself will get you a big chance in winning games more often than not. So be confident in yourself. Be confident in shooting a dumb shot, but don't shoot dumb shots all the time. Play smart. But like, I'm very confident that I can hit this fade every single time I shoot it. So in game, when I go to shoot this, I'm expecting myself to hit it. And just be confident. And if you're confident you can win games, you will win games. So just be confident. But y'all, if any of these tips or anything helped y'all let me know in the comments. If you want more tips videos or anything like that, or me to go more in depth into the defensive settings, I can do that for y'all. Just let me know in the comments. But I love y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. Deuces.